Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabansi. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we'll give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we're going to be talking a little bit more basketball, but before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel here. Now, as y'all know, the very big game yesterday on TNT between the Lakers and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Funny enough, I watched the first half of that game. And in the first half, the Minnesota Timberwolves seemed to be in control of that game. The Lakers made some runs. But going into halftime, the Minnesota Timberwolves actually had the lead on the Lakers. So before I went to bed, because I was so tired, I was like, it looks like the Minnesota Timberwolves could possibly win this game, right? Like they could possibly do it, which was quite surprising because all of us, including me, thought that the Lakers were going to win that game easily going into that game, right? So when I woke up, I started getting the news and I saw that the Lakers won that game in overtime and in dramatic fashion, right? So they won the game. So this morning was kind of, catching up on what I missed out on last night. And then I came across some clips here about, some of the things that Charles Barkley had to say about the Los Angeles Lakers, prior to their win and after their win yesterday against the Minnesota Timberwolves. And speaking of the Timberwolves, this video is brought to you by sponsor Aura, who's also the official sponsor of the T-Wolves. Do you know what the fastest growing crime in America is today? It's identity theft. Imagine trying to log into your email only to see that your password has been changed. Then you start getting weird notifications from your bank and credit cards only to find out that all of your personal and sensitive information has been totally compromised. If you think it can happen to you and your family, just know that in 2020, over 49 million Americans were victims to identity theft, costing them a combined $56 billion. That is why we are excited to partner with Aura, who's a sponsor of this video. Aura is the #1 identity theft and financial fraud protection. Aura monitors the dark web and alerts you if any of your passwords and accounts have been breached. And funny enough, after using Aura, I discovered some of my credentials were floating around in the dark web, and the app showed me exactly when and where the breach happened. In addition, Aura allows you to set spending alerts and they'll notify you of any suspicious transactions. Aura is 4 times faster than any of its competitors in alerting you if someone is trying to open a credit card or obtain a loan using your name. And remember this, every 14 seconds someone becomes a victim of identity fraud. Don't let it happen to you. Now click the link in the description and try Aura for free for 2 weeks and see if any of you or your family's personal information has been compromised. Start your free trial at aura.com/dreamerspro. And when you try Aura, by using the link in the description below, also know that you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what we want to do is quickly play what Charles Barkley had to say at the first half about the Lakers, and then we're going to play what he had to say after the game on TNT, after the Lakers had won the game. So take a listen to what Charles had to say here, and then we'll come back and react to his comments. Take a listen to that.
This is a perfect example right here. They think they're better than they are. They're living, this ain't the bubble, dude. You got to come out and play.
You saying to yourself, like, man, the Lakers are playing great. They've had the second best record, and they come out flat like that. They had the Wolves had 11 turnovers and 5 baskets between the last quarter and overtime, and you're like
16 points and 11 turnovers.
That's crazy.
Fourth quarter.
I mean, whatever that word Shaq made up is true.
Dismantlization.
Yeah. I mean, Minnesota, and Reggie said it, they're gonna be kicking themselves.
I'm trying to figure out, just go back. You said that Memphis is happy?
Yeah, cause now you're like, okay, cause you said to yourself, okay, they got LeBron James and Anthony Davis.
And they're happy about that?
Yeah, but I'm saying, well, they're gonna have probably the 2 best players on the court. But you see, this is the inconsistency we've been getting from the Lakers all year. This is why they're in the play-in. And Memphis—
Won't the playoff refine your focus a little bit and your fire?
This notion that you can— what we saw right here was a perfect example of the Lakers today. Because this notion, and I feel the same way about the Golden State Warriors, this notion that you can turn it on. You can't turn things
Because
on.
I thought earlier we were talking about how this was a great path for the Lakers.
It was.
To play.
And this one game has turned
changed your mind.
Well, because they didn't deserve to win this game tonight. This is all about the Wolves choking this game away.
Okay, well, I think overall, when you talk about the Lakers first, and I'll get to Memphis, I think the Lakers, what they do have, you do see is they have the ability to make plays, which makes them dangerous. Because there were 2 or 3 plays that Anthony Davis, the lob over the sides with LeBron through to Anthony Davis, those are not average catches and average finishes. Those are guys Shaq makes, Charles would have made, Anthony Davis would make. Those are great plays that only great players can make in moments. So that's why they're dangerous. Same with Golden State. There are 3-point shots that Steph Curry and Klay Thompson that can make.
So you heard what Charles Barkley had to say. Now, first thing to get out the way. Charles Barkley, I think right now must be worth negative $1.5 billion. Some of you are like, what am I talking about? Going into that Atlanta Hawks Miami Heat game, Charles Barkley said he would bet $1 billion that the Miami Heat were going to beat the Atlanta Hawks. And of course, the Atlanta Hawks, they beat the Miami Heat. So, that's another wrong Charles Barkley prediction. Y'all know Charles also does the guarantee. He does that also. It's quite hilarious. So Charles is usually he gets a lot of things wrong when he comes to these playoff guarantees and all of that stuff, right? So I'm sure some Laker fans who heard what he had to say will be like, ain't this the same dude that's always making these bold predictions that's always wrong, right? So I know there's a contingent out there that feel that way about Charles Barkley. But back to his comments. Now, what he said, I think, is kind of this stigma that the Lakers have, which is, the championship they won in the Orlando bubble was like bubblicious, right? Like the people always kind of poking holes at that Lakers championship. People are like that, players didn't want to be there and all of those different things. So that's the first reason he said that. Now, to the latter comments that he had to make, I still think going into this series against the Memphis Grizzlies, and funny enough, before actually producing this particular show here, we actually put up a poll on our channel where we asked our audience just under an hour ago, who do you think wins the series between the Lakers and the Grizzlies? And out of the 2,500 people that have voted, 40% are leaning towards the Lakers and 60% are leaning towards the Grizzlies. Now, in my honest opinion, I think the Grizzlies are talented enough to beat the Lakers. They have a lot of talent. They have a lot of depth. They're going to be using their speed against the Lakers, and they're going to make it an up and down game. They're going to try to speed them up. But what kind of worries me is maybe their level of maturity, kind of losing sight of what's most important and getting and falling into those one-on-one personal kind of mano-a-mano matches within the match where you may have like a Dylan Brooks trying to go at LeBron, and then he kind of gets lost in that matchup and then loses sight of the bigger picture. Maybe guys getting a little bit too over emotional. Those are things that are going to play into the Lakers' hands because they're a veteran team, right? They've been there before. And I'm actually unclear of who I think actually wins this series. Really, as I'm thinking about it now, I'll probably make my prediction later. I'm not really sure who comes out victorious in this series here, because maybe I would have an idea of it after they play round one. I just want to see the level of maturity, that the Memphis Grizzlies are going to play with, right? Because they're very cocky, they're going to talk a lot and brag and all of these things. So I want to see how they handle it, because the last time, or one of the times they played against the Lakers, LeBron wasn't going for any of that trash talk. And there's a famous clip that he had when I think one of the guys was trash talking him at the foul line. And he was like, enough with the disrespect. And he got really like pissed off. And then 1 or 2 plays later, he runs down and dunks it, like yams it on Jaren Jackson Jr. I mean, he he tomahawked it on him. So you can tell that this team finds a way to get under their opponent's skin. And I think that the Lakers may be able to handle their emotions better than the Memphis Grizzlies. But then again, the Memphis Grizzlies are a very good team. And they are the number two seed in the Western Conference for a reason. So to me, I think it's going to be pretty entertaining. So what I want to know from you guys is simply this. What do you think about the comments Charles Barkley had to make about the Lakers. That's number one. And number two, who do you think wins this series? The Lakers or the Grizzlies? Whatever you guys think. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. We catch you on the next show.